Hi, Celeste Cuffey here of Life Empower Consulting Services, where our mission is to reach, empower, and motivate others to access and utilize their God-given, their natural, their inherent talents and skills, building better families, companies, and communities worldwide. Thank you so much for joining me on today. I want to just talk about something very simple yet very complex, which is the power of thought. It is important that we do not underestimate the power of thought because it is the ideals implemented that change lives. So I want to say that again, do not underestimate the power of thought because it is ideals implemented that change lives. So when you think of people like Benjamin Franklin or Albert Einstein or Walt Disney or Madam C.J. Walker or Benjamin Banneker, even these are all people that had ideals, inventions, entrepreneurship avenues, and they changed lives. Why? Because it all started with a thought, and that thought was then implemented. That idea was then implemented. And so it's so important that we all take a few moments daily to just think. Now, I got a chance to watch Oprah Winfrey on a talk show. It was actually with Trevor Noah. And on the talk show, she said something very powerful. She said, people get to where they want to be because they know where they want to go. And so here's my question. Do you know where you want to go? Have you thought about where it is that you want to go? What is your destination? And can I just tell you that wealth is not a destination? It's not. House is a goal, but it's not a destination. Because now what? Then what? And we have to start thinking about our lives in a concept that is much bigger than any tangible item. But let me tell you, for today and for today's Life Empowered Moment, I want to encourage you to just start thinking about it and then how to bring it to pass. We're going to talk about some of the goals that we want to bring to pass, but we're going to talk about more so how to do it, right? So for example, there is power in thinking. There's no question about that. As a matter of fact, Henry Ford says that thinking is the hardest work there is, which is probably why so few people engage in it. What a powerful, thought-provoking statement. It's so hard. It's so difficult. It's so challenging to think for yourself on your own, using your own thoughts, bringing in all the information that you do have together to make a decision, that most people rather just live life following someone else's directions, following someone else's path. And I heard another saying, which is, if you do not spend time making your dreams come true, you will spend your time making somebody else's dreams come true. And so again, there is so much power in thought. So again, I want to give you a few strategies. The first thing that I want to tell you to do is to just think. It's okay to think for yourself. It's okay to take a few moments every day. And it sounds weird, but usually when we're thinking of what to do, we're thinking of what to do based on what someone else has told us, based on the influences around us. But think for yourself. What do you think? What works for you? Where do you want to go? What is your destination? And then write it down, reinforce it. So first, again, think. The second is write. So if you think that you want, and let's use a goal of a home, for example, or use the goal of a CEO of a position of a company, for example, write that down. So now you've thought it, now you've wrote it, now recite it. I am the CEO of my own life. I am going to be the CEO of whatever company it is, Fortune 100, Fortune 500, CEO of your own company. Whatever that is, you think it, you write it, and then you recite it. And when I say recite it, I don't mean just today. I mean, make it a mantra every day before you go to bed at night, when you get up in the morning, before you leave the house. Make it part of your cup of coffee. What is your mantra? Think it, you write it, and then you recite it. The next thing that you do is you correct it, because we're talking about the power of thoughts. And every now and then, I don't know about you, but my personal experience is the minute I think that I want to do something, I think of the 10 reasons why I can't do it. And so now I have to correct my thought processes. Okay, correct them. Oh, yes, you can do it. Oh, yes, you are capable. Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. And when you find that there are barriers, even in your thought processes, find ways, think of ways to overcome them. So now you go back to it again. You think, you write, you recite, you correct. Correct those negative thoughts. Correct what you think are the obstacles or the barriers to your success. Then you connect. Right? And what do I mean by connect? Who's in your space? I talk about that all the time. I'm sure you've heard it time and time again, but who's in your environment? Are you around people that also have goals? They don't have to be your goals, but goals nonetheless, and they are working to achieve them as well. So are you in the presence? Are you in the environment of progressive people? Think, write, recite, correct, connect. And here's the last one. Manifest. Okay, let me go through them again. Think, write, recite, correct, connect, and then manifest. And what do I mean by manifest? Sometimes we have the mindset of all or nothing, right? So I either want $1 million house or I don't want a house at all. But please understand that if you're at $1 million house, but you want $100,000 house, you have that house and you build equity, and then you sell or you flip that house, and then you get a little bit more, and you make incremental growth towards your goal. That's what you do. And so that is how you manifest it. You manifest it at, I'm not at $1 million yet, but hey, I'm at 100, or I'm at 100,000, or whatever that is. And so let me give you another example. I often think about philanthropy, and it is so important to be a giver. And I am a giver, and one of the things that I'm working on is creating the scholarship fund in the names of my father as well as my father-in-law. And so while the scholarship in itself hasn't been manifested yet, I have manifested being a giver. And so when different ones in my space graduate from high school, I give. When different ones celebrate or make milestones, I give. So I am already becoming philanthropic through my baby steps. And at some point and very soon too, Life Empowered will be launching this entire scholarship fund in the names of, again, my father and my father-in-law. And so those are the steps that I wanted to take you through today in leveraging the power of your thoughts. Again, think, write, recite, correct, connect, and then manifest. I believe that you can do it. I believe that you are capable. I just need you to believe it. And then whenever you have those self-doubts, correct those thoughts right away. Don't dwell. Correct it. So thank you so much for your time. I challenge you to do these 6 things on a daily, consistent, regular basis. And I know that if you do, you will live life empowered. Take care. Thank you so much for your time. Have an amazing day. Goodbye.